So about a month ago, I purchased the ChargePoint 50 amp J1772 level 2 charger. I think Georgia Power had a deal, so it was like 250 bucks off, 200 bucks off. So I paid about, I think just over $300 for it. And the installation was about $1,000. Spending $1,500 to charge it home instead of going to the abysmal Electrify America EVgo charging network here in Atlanta is, to me, a worthwhile investment. It charges at about 11.5 kilowatts, so like 0 to 100% in 9-ish hours roughly. But I had this lovely charger, I don't have any complaints. Already, so many new cars are starting to adopt the NACS charging standards. The Ioniq 9 was just announced, it has the NACS. The Rivian R3, I believe, will ship when it's released with the NACS. The new Kia EV9 GT that was just announced at the LA Motor Show is also shipping with the NACS charging port. So already, I've only had this thing for about a month, which again, I don't have any complaints about it. It already is starting to feel antiquated and outdated. Again, it works for my car because I have the 2024 EV9 and it uses this plug. But come 2 years from now, I feel like this is going to be obsolete already. So what the fuck am I supposed to do with this now? I cannot believe that I'm in this situation yet again. I've owned 4 new cars in my life. A 2013 Golf TDI, Kia Optima Hybrid 2017, the 2021 Polestar 2 Launch Edition Performance Package, and now the Kia EV9 GT line. The Golf TDI was a lemon. The Kia Optima Hybrid was fine. The Polestar 2 was technically also a lemon. And now my 2024 Kia EV9 GT line is a lemon. Let me explain the situation to you. I purchased the Kia EV9 last December 2023. And right off the jump, anytime I would go over bumps or undulations in the road, it didn't have to be a major pothole or crater or anything. I have OCD, so I avoid potholes anyway. But just driving on the highway, anytime there was uneven pavement, I would lose control of the vehicle. It just didn't steer right. It was like the suspension mixed with the handling would just throw everything out of sorts. So driving 70 miles per hour on the highway and losing control of the car is not an amazing feeling. So I took it back to Kia to fix in April of 2024. And while their fix made it a little bit better, they fucked up the alignment. So the alignment was so bad, it was veering to the right after this repair. So again, the waftiness that I felt was a little bit improved, but then they also added incorrect alignment. So I took it back again, and they had it for, I don't know, a few days, and they ended up fixing the alignment, but then the wafting over bumps and losing control came back the same way that it was. So now, in addition to the wafting, a new competitor has entered the ring at speeds of 70 miles per hour or more. The steering wheel vibrates. And like, it's not just the steering wheel, it's like the steering wheel and something deep within the soul of the vehicle vibrates. Like, I usually carry a really big water bottle with me, which love the cup holders in the EV9 because they're so big and accommodate a really thick, girthy water bottle. If I like put my hand on it, you feel everything vibrating. And so I once again, and if you can recall, this is, I believe, at least the 3rd visit back to the mechanic, they allegedly fixed the wobble, but when the service advisor came back to me, she was like, hey, so we test drove your car and there's no more wobble. Just so you know, we didn't drive it over 60 miles per hour. And I was like, I intentionally told you that it only happens above 70 miles per hour. So if you didn't drive it above 70 miles per hour, how do you know that the wobble's fixed? And she's like, well, just take it home and see. And I'm like, at that point, I was just like, I don't want to stay here another minute. And it's the fact that you just like ignored the actual issue with the car and said like, oh, we test drove it and it was fine. Well, it's like, well, you didn't test drive it to recreate the problem. And so I drove it home, and on that drive home, I like didn't notice it. I was like, okay, this is cute, whatever. And then literally like the next day, I was driving on the highway, it happened, it was still happening. And keep in mind, I've had a case open with Kia corporate, Kia customer support. And what I just say, I'm a customer support manager. I've been in customer support basically for the last 15 years as a manager. And Kia's customer support is actually, they are very attentive. The whole process with Kia customer support was actually really positive, and I feel like that's rare these days. If you're a delivery driver for like Uber or Uber Eats, Uber's customer support is by far the worst customer support I think I've ever experienced. They outsource it, number one, so there's like a barrier of language sometimes, but then they also have tiered support. I think you have to drive a certain amount for Uber to like get this priority support, but like priority support, whatever, I haven't experienced Uber's priority support, but I assume that their priority support should be the standard of support that everyone gets. Like the support I've gotten through Uber, they were repeating things that like they weren't actually listening to what was wrong. I almost just got in a rant about Uber support. That's not what this video is about. If you want to hear about Uber support, that'll be another video. Despite everything I love about the EV9, if you've seen my prior reviews, I really do love this car. There isn't much I have to say about functionality, feature, performance that is a deal breaker for me. I've driven this car to Indiana from Atlanta, performed incredibly. I took a road trip 2 hours away to a cabin in Stone Mountain. Me and my boyfriend went and like climbed a mountain. It was really fun. I went camping in this car. I really don't have any complaints about features or functionality. However, spending 75 grand on a new car, it shouldn't vibrate, it shouldn't wiggle, it shouldn't veer to the right, it shouldn't waft and lose control when you go over just like the tiniest little undulations in the road. And so I filed an official lemon law claim to the state of Georgia. And might I just say, there are like lemon law lawyers out there who I'm sure just do everything for you, make the process easy. Submitting my claim for this car to be a lemon was honestly probably one of the easiest legal processes that I've ever experienced. Not that I've experienced many, but there are some forms that you have to fill out and you have to like certified mail them to Kia corporate. You have to give them X number of days to respond. If they don't respond, you send a second form that's like, okay, you didn't respond in 10 days, and I get to choose. I either want this vehicle to be completely replaced, just give me a new one back, or give me all my money back. So after you submit all the forms to Kia, they never responded to me. When Kia doesn't respond, I had two options. I could take it directly to arbitration, so I have to basically fill out another application with the state of Georgia and say, I have a lemon, let's take it to arbitration and do this live. But Kia also has a third-party hotline through the Better Business Bureau that acts as a conduit between Kia and the customer. And it's basically a program that holds Kia accountable to do what is right for the consumer without going to arbitration. And so I went that route because I don't mind going to arbitration. I have all the receipts. I have a long summary. I wrote up a summary of like my experience and what's been going on. And because these issues with the EV9 are considered safety, like I'm losing control of the car, it vibrates at a certain highway speed, like all of these things combined add up to potential disaster. And so in the state of Georgia, you have to try to repair the car 3 times for just like whatever, like if it's a noise or whatever, you have to give the dealer up to 3 attempts to repair. For anything safety related, it's only 1 attempt is necessary. And I've had multiple safety issues now with at least 1 attempt. The wafting has been 3 attempts already, so like I'm more than eligible. And so I wanted to present all this to the Better Business Bureau third-party option to give Kia the chance to respond. Through all of this, and this is where Polestar comes in. I love Polestar. I think the brand is awesome. Even though I had some not great experiences with the 2 and the suspension and the noise and all that stuff, I think Polestar as a brand is really cool. I think they're really innovative. I love the design. I think Polestar's designs are far beyond most automakers on sale today. They just get it. If you watch my previous video of the review of the Polestar 4, I mentioned how I thought the Polestar 3 was ugly. Now that I'm looking at it more, I kind of want one. And this is what brings me to Polestar. So I called Polestar Atlanta and left a voicemail. I asked them, hey, I see you have test drives on your website. I'm potentially gonna be in the market for a new EV. I would love to take the Polestar 3 for a half day or a day to just like get use out of it, so that if I'm gonna spend $100,000, or I guess the version I want is like $94,000, I need more than like 30 minutes with it. Like I need to make sure that it's the right car for me. And they called me back the next day and left a voicemail and they said, I'm just gonna play it for you actually.
Hi, this is calling from Polestar, Atlanta. I know you had left a message about wanting a full day test drive. We are not able to offer that. Our test drives are about 15 minutes, and that's about, we're not able to give a car for a day. We just can't do that, I see from here. if you'd like to schedule a test drive, of course, just get right online. You can schedule it right there at polestar.com, or I can, take care of that for you through a phone call. But if there's anything else I can do for you, please give me a shout, 770-291-6000. Thank you.
And so here's my thing. Maybe I'm a little bit entitled. Maybe I have some entitlement, right? Because I was one of the first people in the US to own a Polestar with the Polestar 2, the launch edition. And I've made countless videos. I've lauded them. I'm sure that through referrals, I have made Polestar a pretty significant amount of money. And I think that automotive journalism and who they give press cards to is actually kind of whack, because they would rather give it to somebody who, like, I'm not gonna say his name, but if you search Polestar, there is a very particular reviewer who just he's been grilling the Polestar 4. Like, every video that he releases is like, this car sucks, I'm not gonna buy this car, blah, 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 blah. And you can tell, I would say within the past like week or two, did a complete 180, because I'm sure Polestar is like, if you keep bashing us, we are not gonna give you access. Meanwhile, here I am, like a heavy promoter of the brand, and because I don't have credentials or what, like more followers, whatever, like they're just not interested in giving me a loaner or a press card, just doing anything above and beyond for the consumer, really. Because let's be honest with you, the CEO is out, the head of design is out at Polestar. I think people are expecting Polestar to fail, similar to how Fisker failed. I have higher hopes for Polestar. For a brand that could use some good press, it's one thing to not give me a press card, which I emailed like the head of product or the head of marketing for Polestar, and he also didn't respond to my email about giving me a press card. But like, the fact that the dealer can't even give me a loaner for half a day, 4 hours to like review it and film it and give you my honest opinion on it. And in the voicemail, it's only 15 minutes is the test drive. Like, y'all can have that. Good luck, Polestar. I really wanted to advocate for the brand, but the customer service, if you've watched my previous videos, terrible customer service. The repair that they did on the Polestar 2 when I moved to Atlanta, they kept doing it wrong and breaking it and just doing a piss poor job. I felt like this opportunity with the Polestar 3 and this EV9 being a lemon and giving me the opportunity to buy a new car was sort of like the last thread. And here's the thing, I love the Polestar 4, I think it's beautiful. But if you look at reviews of the Polestar 4 on Reddit, on the Polestar forum, on YouTube, they botched the launch. It's botched. Like, software is terrible, just not getting good reviews. If you gave me $100,000 cash right now, what car would I buy? I would have to reconsider this maybe, but like, as of right now, I'm sour, and you can tell by my hand movements in this entire video that I'm that I'm feeling a type of way. And so through this Better Business Bureau Kia connection conduit, I officially submitted a claim and just asked for a replacement EV9. So now it's a waiting game. I think I have about a week left to hear from Kia on their decision. If they don't reach out or I don't like their terms about the replacement, I can just take it directly to arbitration, and then the law will decide my fate. Even though I'm frustrated that it's a lemon, this is honestly just a part of the early adoption process. If you're buying a car that it's the first model year, this is just a hazard that you might have to experience. With all of the new cars I've ever purchased, I honestly wouldn't really trade my experience with any of those cars for anything else. And as far as value is concerned, I think I will stick to my guns and say that the EV9 is probably the most cost-effective electric car you can buy today. 75 grand gets you an incredible 360 surround camera system, heated and ventilated second row seats. Fuck, the new Cadillac Vistique, the 2026 that was just announced, it looks beautiful. I would buy that as my next car. I think when I priced it out, it would be like 98 grand or something with the platinum and all the options. That car doesn't even have ventilated second row seats. It only has heated. And again, I know that's just like one nitpicky thing, but it's like the fact that a $75,000 Kia has that, and a third row that's accessible and gets 280 miles of usable real world range, it's pretty impressive to me. The only thing I really don't like about the Kia, maybe I'll save that for another video. You have to subscribe and like this video if you want to hear more about why I don't like the Kia EV9. But overall, I think it's a pretty impressive car. So what does this all mean? It means that in about a week or so, I will know whether I will receive a new Kia EV9. Have you ever had a lemon and gone through the process? Because I'm curious what happens. My lease ends December 2026. So my ideal situation is they give me a new car, my lease terms don't change, I can still turn the car in with 30,000 miles because my lease has 10,000 miles a year. So technically, in my ideal scenario in my head, Kia would give me a new car, keep the terms the same. So I'm essentially getting like 10,000 miles for free because the clock isn't going to start over. They're not going to say, well, here's this new car. You only get 20,000 miles now because you only have 2 years of your lease left. That would be ideal to me. I would just take it to arbitration in that point. So if you've ever been through the lemon law process, please let me know what you think or what you've been through. I hope that this view from my living room is cute. My boyfriend and I just rearranged and I'm really obsessed with it. Thank you for sticking with me. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let me know your thoughts about lemon law. Let me know your thoughts about the Kia EV9. If you have a Polestar 3, let me know what you think. Is it worth it? If you have one, if you have a Polestar 3 and you're in Atlanta, please let me borrow your car and review it. That would be really amazing. Besides that, I hope you all stay fabulous. Happy holidays. Thanksgiving is fake, and free Palestine. Bye.